in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. Man, I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Thank you once again for finding the time to be with me for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. Yes, it is still morning for me. It is 11:41 a.m. Las Vegas time. I do hope you're all doing well. It's another live Chelsea news where we'll talk about the Chelsea star, Raheem Sterling's dilemma, problem, situation, whatever you want to call it. We will talk about it today, and then we'll talk about Hilario's sudden exit from Chelsea, resignation. We will try to make sense of what might have happened that led to him tendering a resignation letter. And then we'll talk about João Victor de Souza to Chelsea Football Club, the left back who can also play centre back. And I'm not going to pretend I know him. Today is actually the first time I'm hearing his name. There are other news items lined up that we're going to talk about, and chances are, as the show progresses, a lot more stuff will emerge, and be rest assured, if that happens, this will be the first place you'll hear about it. But more importantly, big up to all of you. So much love from my end to your end. You're the reason why we have 23,000 subscribers, and yeah, hopefully soon we'll get to 24,000 subscribers. And as the show progresses, the Chelsea women's team will start in about 18. Champions League football at home will start in about 18 minutes time. We will be paying attention to it. If we'll score, we'll share it. I think I think I'd open it'd be important to open Fort Mob and put the radar on to follow the scores. Yep, they're part of Chelsea Football Club. Yes, the Mafawale, the first person in the chat, and he says, Coach, do you realize Maresca allowed Sanchez to go to join the Spanish national team for the international break of the Nations League game with Maresca at Cobham? We might see Jorgensen on Sunday. Possibly. And according to someone on X, Sanchez did make a mistake that the person screamed, Jesus Christ. Sanchez is actually absolute shit. I don't want to say that. Yeah, but let's see what happens. It'd be nice for him to get an opportunity, or for Jorgensen to get the opportunity to rep Chelsea in the Premier League, and let's see how well he does. Big up to you two DJs. You're bringing the fight today. You are bringing the fights today, and I'm ready for you. Big up, DJ. Always, always, always nice to see you, my brother. I appreciate you all. And if you have any update for us, again, as we're nearing towards the end of the show, if you know anything we don't know, please do let us know. I know you have sources. Yeah. Namaya is saying, Coach, big up. Do you realize something you already said? I'm not going to read it again. I'm not reading it again. But that's, by the way, people, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Apologies to those of you that prefer to follow the show on X. Somehow I forgot to tweak the title. The title just said test. Yeah, I'm a human being. So I had to stop the broadcast on X to broadcast only on YouTube. But keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Already we have 7 likes, and we are 13 minutes into the show. Let's see if we can do a lot better than we've done of late in terms of the total likes we've garnered. DJ Sov Blues is in the house, so let the grooving start. DJ, you hear that? That's, by the way, without wasting much of your time, I'm gonna go to the presentation window so that we can start addressing the items we have lined up. And I have my theory as to why we're looking to sign that keys. I think aligned with the theory I presented to Dante and the panelists I had with me on the other day when we talked about Kukureya's future. I love him, but I know eventually he will leave. I hope Fofana keeps Vardy quiet on Saturday. Yeah, I think that would be okay. That may well be another reason why Malagusto may start, but I don't know. Wiz Paparazzi, bitch! Nice to see you, brother. I do hope you're doing well. Big up to you. It's been a minute. I hope you're all right. And hopefully your absence simply means that you've been busy. If that's the case, I totally understand, because bills don't pay themselves. So we're going to go to the presentation window Where is it here? At this guy here. So we can start addressing the items we have lined up without wasting much of your time. And please keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go along with. Let's get the likes out, people. We're better off this way if we're gonna present something here. This guy should go. Give me 1 second here. Let me fix it. Yeah, I think we're better off this way. Let's see. And I see my brother Bobby is in the house. He says, "Okay, coach, I'm on my way. Join you hopefully in about 40 minutes. If yep, I'd still be here. But thank you, bro. See you, and please drive safely. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. I want a clean sheet. Okay, against Leicester City. I think we'll lose against them. Listen, we'll still do the match preview. So let's concentrate on discussing the news items we have lined up here. Namaya, if you don't mind, keep the topics aligned. I know you're an OG here. But please, I'm a human being. Switching between topics like this can be very, very tiring. But more importantly, Lemar, you know I do appreciate and respect you. So the first item, I don't know this kid. I don't know this kid. His name. Let's read the report. It says that Chelsea have explored the possibility of signing Santos' 18-year-old left back, João Victor de Souza. The Blues' idea would be to close his contract and loan him for a season long loan to Strasbourg, a club owned by Blueco, as sister club, to simplify that. And that's according to Edu 17 Burgos. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It must be a Brazilian outlet. And here's the thing. The other day, we talked about Cucurella being one of the top earners at the club. And we did talk about also how the club changed their stance because the club wanted him gone. But he's done so well. They've changed their mind. But that doesn't mean Cucurella will be here forever. I think, in my opinion, as much as I like him, I love him. And I actually did make a video with Jerry Z where I talked about how where I discussed the reason, one of the main reasons why I prefer him over Ben Chilwell. I'm not saying Ben Chilwell is a bad footballer by any stretch of imagination, if that makes sense. So listen, now his Cucurella is one of our top earners. He is doing absolutely. He's one of our best players so far this season, no question. But as one of the top earners, when time comes for him to sign a new contract, he'd want an increase of at least 50% or even a lot more. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. But the to simplify it, he'd want a lot more money that he's currently earning, and that's where the club will say, "Yeah, that's it. I think you can go now if you want to, and you go with our blessing." Why? He's an excellent player. He's put himself out there. He had an excellent outing during the Euros, and he's currently one of the best left backs in the Premier League. And here's the thing: he's a utility player too. He can play as left center midfield, left center back, wing back. He can play also the inverted role. He's excellent at fulfilling the wing back role. So my speculation of my prediction is by in 2025, towards the end of 2025, we'll be hearing about Cucurella's departure, and this time he will end up leaving because we definitely, I don't believe, irrespective of how well he does that, we're gonna be able to pay him how much he'd be asking for the percentage in pay increase that he'd be asking, and there won't be shortage of clubs interested in signing him. So he'd have a lot of offers on the table, which definitely will mean, yeah, he's not gonna, because of how much he loves Chelsea, decides to stay. He will go for the money. It's business for all parties involved. Remember, I told you this towards the end of 2025, we'd start hearing about Cucurella's future, and this time I think he's going to leave, not because he hates Chelsea, because in my opinion, the club, we're not going to be able to give him the sort of pay rise that he would want. And it's just a sad reality. And we have Renato Vieira, who can also fulfill that role. As much as I love Cucurella, I think Renato Vieira probably defensively more solid, more physical. But what Cucurella does at the moment better than him is his ability to fulfill that inverted fullback role. And we're looking at this kid also, who's been dubbed the new Marcelo. I've seen highlights of him, but I'm not one of those that just go by what I see from clips and say, yeah, that player is an excellent player. I will not gaslight you. I need to see him play 90 minutes before I decide. So this that's because this guy again he's played mainly in the left back position. He can also play as a centre back. That's the reason why I'm saying yeah, Kukure's future. For me, I think he eventually leaves in probably summer 2025. That's just a prediction. Chances are he'd still be here in 2026, 2027, and onward, but I don't see that happening. And it's my opinion. Big up, folks. What's up, Buzz? Oluwa can be nice to see you, Tamida, my bro. I did see you on this channel, so but I was driving at the time, so I couldn't take time to say. I didn't find the time to say hello to you. Our midfield is an issue. Casado, we'll get to that. Keep the topics aligned, please. Anything else here? Total football. Sounds like a good signing for Chelsea. Yeah, it sounds like it. And here's the thing. But I don't know him well enough to discuss his abilities and all that. From the clips I've seen, he times his tackles perfectly. He can be physical. He's very agile. He doesn't turn like a trailer. It takes him like this. He's turned around, and you can say he's not easy to beat from what I've seen. But that's not enough for me. I like to watch the player, and then because numbers complement eye test and vice versa. So I can just say yeah, Chilwell is gone in January too. Also, yeah. Let's see. Cuckoo won't leave. Just if you understand my argument, you get where I'm going to. We wanted to sell him because of his salary. Do I think he'd get a pay rise enough for him to forfeit? You can say not look at other clubs interested in signing him. I don't see that happening. That's just my opinion. I hope he stays. If we can convince him to stay beyond 2025 and on and sign a new contract, oh wow, I throw a party. You know I love him. Let's see what else we have here. I'd like signing him. He will grow. I don't know him really. Wait, what am I in the right room? Don't tell me that Coachella rumors about. No, it's not rumor. I'm not saying he's leaving. I'm just saying what I think. I'm just you can say presenting to you what I think will happen in 2025, summer 2025. It's just an opinion. He could. Chances are he signs a new contract because of how he's been one of our best players so far this season, and if he keeps that form, yeah, who says no? I don't know. The club could make an exception for him. But big up, DJ. I appreciate you finding time to join the show this particular morning. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, my bro. Bring on the fight. I am ready for you.
Yeah, no, bruv. I'm all good, mate. I have to say one thing though. I do disagree with you on one thing.
Mhm.
I don't think Cucurella will be going anywhere anytime soon.
But do you understand
For
my
me,
point? You know,
I
by
get your
next year
point.
he'd have 2 years left on his current
Yeah,
contract.
I get your
Okay.
point, but I think I get your point, but I think it comes down to how Maresca sets up his team, and as much as I mean, look, we all know we got the future. Everyone's talking about obviously we've got Vega there, but you do know Vega can also it can be utilized. He can't always just play
Yeah,
still in
and
one position.
Viega is for me more defensively solid than Kukurea. It's just that
He is,
Kukurea
bro. He is.
fulfills. Yeah, go ahead.
I just think that unless it's something stupid, like I'm talking about like a stupid bid that comes in for him, then just
Mhm.
maybe they may consider selling him. But I think at this moment in time, we're going to look at the experience we've got in this team, and I think he probably puts you probably would put Cucurella now amongst an experienced player in that setup. He's probably why I can't see us anytime soon letting him go. But I get what you're saying for this kid that you're talking about, João Victor de Souza, the one you were talking about. He does
Yeah,
look. I
the,
mean,
the
I've
new
only
the new Marcelo they call him.
yeah, they're calling him that. But you know what, bro? Every time this thing comes out of this, the new Marcelo, the new, we had the new Neymar, we had the new. I always say to it and say to myself, man, unless you actually see these guys playing and saying what they're all about, then you can actually make
Mhm.
that kind of view and opinion on them. You know, it was all good, nice seeing videos and stuff of them and how they're playing. But look, I'm not saying the kid's not a bad player, is a bad player. He's young. I think he's what 18 years old. Signing. He plays obviously plays for Santos. I mean, obviously, we all know about their team, what plays
They produce
um,
excellent
they
players,
produce some excellent
Neymar and
plays, including
others.
Neymar
Yeah.
in particular. I mean, we all said this about Angelo Gabriel, didn't we? The winger. They were talking about him being the next big thing coming out of Brazil. Look what happened to him. Now, obviously, we've got Estava Willian coming in there as well. Hopefully, there's a lot of hype on him as well. And I just hope we're not putting too much pressure on these kids to be something they might not be able to produce, and they need to be given the time to become these players. And so for me, look, if he can come in, great for the club. But at this moment in time, I don't think Cucurella will be gone anytime soon along. As I said, I think he's got 2 years left. There's a possibility he may extend his contract if the club really like him and the manager likes him. And if these guys are actually going to go by what the coach wants, and he turns around and says to him, "Look, I want Cucurella in this setup," then there's a possibility he may extend his stay and stay on at Chelsea longer. And obviously, what that might mean, obviously, his wages will go up, his money and price will go up in terms of selling him. But again, it's got to be a stupid offer to get rid of him, to sell him. And I don't think this moment in time any club will do it.
I think one aspect of my argument that I'm Kukureya's biggest fan. You
Yeah,
know, right? You
yeah. I
know,
know you like Coco. Yeah,
it was I, Ty, and who again was defending him. We
yeah,
defended him vigorously, even when people were I was telling them, you don't understand this player.
yeah. I was doing the
understand
same.
him so well. I coined
Yeah,
the term sweeper defender to make my
yeah,
point clear. I'm just saying, from a financial perspective, things have
mm,
changed.
yeah,
If it wasn't for the financial restrictions, Newcastle, they are one of the richest clubs in world football right now.
right.
But the truth remains, you can't spend the money because you have it. There are limits.
Yeah,
There's a limit to how much you can spend, irrespective of how much you have. That
yeah,
that means that clubs will be looking to save money from everywhere they can, from player salary. Let's assume now. My point is, this kid now, if he proves to be an excellent signing, or if
mm,
Viega proves that he can actually fulfill the inverted fullback role effectively,
yeah,
and at the same time, because clearly, in my opinion, he's more defensively solid than Cucurella, the club won't think twice about selling Cucurella because they
mm,
save money. Plus, they have a younger player who can fulfill the role again in the same manner, or even better, do an equally good job as Cucurella, or do even better. They will sell him. I'm not saying, I love
yeah.
Cucurella. I know if anybody can, people in the middle of discussion might come in and feel like, yeah, I don't like him. No, I like him. And I want him to stay till he retires. But it's going to be very difficult. But let's hear what you were saying. Apologies for cutting you off.
No, bro, no. You're not apologizing. No need to apologize, bro. You weren't cutting me off at all. I was just saying that I just think at this moment in time, if we've got any kind of aspirations going forward, and these guys really want to go up, going on to win things and get us to where we want to go again, I think the one thing you don't try to do in any team you play for is try to sell one of your better players. And let's be real here. Cucurella's in terms of him getting better, let's be real here. He's probably got to be one of the best. I'll probably say one of the best left backs at this moment in time in the Premiership.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely. You can
I
say
think
in
if you got
Europe, the fact that
in
he
Europe
won,
as well,
yeah, yeah,
and the fact that he's obviously won the World Cup as well, or the Euro Trophy, whatever it was they played recently. You could turn around and say to yourself, what this guy, is there a problem for, is there a reason for actually getting rid of this guy? Unless, as I said, the only time he will go, and let's be real here, Kachila, right? There's not
Mhm.
many clubs out there that can go against FFP and fair play because they won't put big money down on a player. And I cannot see for the life of me someone being spending big on a left back or whatever you want to say because of that same reason. If it was a striker, maybe different. But a left back, unless you're like your name is unless your name is got Cole as your surname, as in Ashley Cole, you got Marcello, one of the legends you've mentioned there as well. Unless you got names like that in your names, I cannot see for the life of me a player or a left back player going a player that plays as a left back going for big money. But like I said, who knows? Some club might come in and decide they want to pay that kind of money. We'll see. But for me, I don't think it's the right thing to do. But I get your argument.
Yeah, I will
Or
hate
your
it.
opinion.
I've seen players I love. I know a lot of people don't, but I loved Ruben Loftus-Cheek as a Chelsea player, and I didn't want him to
Mm.
go.
Yeah.
Yep, I because I know what he's got in him. Even before,
Mm.
look, my point. I'm trying to be as objective as possible. I could be wrong, and hopefully, I just hope that I'm wrong. But
Yeah.
I've taken my time to look at it, and yeah, eventually it will happen. It's not good. The club are not going to do it in a hurry. They will be sure that's a good, an excellent player that comes in and does an equally good job, or maybe an even better job before they give the go ahead. Because he still have 2 years left.
Mm.
It won't be too much of a risk to leave it until 1 year. If he's doing well and we don't have a good player to come in and measure his performances or even surpass that, they're not going to be in a hurry to sell him. I have a feeling Nani, Disasi, Gui, Chilwell, Carney are all gone in January. Chilwell definitely. Carney, yeah, maybe on loan, but he's not going to be here. He's a talent.
He's loan if he does
Yeah,
go.
and I don't want him to stay and waste his talent here. If we're not going to utilize him, let him leave. That's an excellent player there. I wouldn't mind tomorrow looking back and asking, why did we let him go? But I'd rather him go and get to that level that we know he can get to, rather than stay here and rough on the bench. Kuku is in form. I don't want him to go. If he goes, I won't be happy. I will not be happy too. But it's a sad reality. The chances, the possibility is there. But it's up to the club to decide whether they change their policy, accommodate him, and find all the ways, effective ways to save money. Hello to you too, Jude Mesole. Nice to see you, Jude, my bro. My earlier messages were deleted. That usually did I change the timing? I didn't. So I'm not
Chill,
sure
it's that
what
equipment,
happened.
bro. It's your equipment, bro. Come on. I'm
I knew
joking.
you were going to bring up my equipment, but you know that's not the case,
I know,
CJ.
bro.
You
I
do
know, I know,
know.
I know, I know that, bro. You know me. I know that.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's continue. Let's see. We have Wycliffe Barrosh in the house. Wycliffe Barrosh, nice to see you. How many wonder kids does Brazil have? There are too many. If they stayed there, the Brazilian league would have been very strong. I don't think so. I don't think if they stayed that, you can say maybe that make you can say how will how has what's the most effective way to get that point across? Yeah, I don't think it make any difference in terms of the quality of the league. Talents, they have talents. You can say you get the talents there almost always, irrespective of how many European clubs assign from there. No, I don't think so. And those players, if they remain in Brazil, they usually don't. Again, they don't achieve the sort of success they achieve in Europe. I'm not sure how it's to come out, but I get your point. It doesn't make a difference. And by the way, Chelsea women, they're up a goal from bronze. So Chelsea won, Celtic 0. We will be sharing. We will be following that game also. So whatever happens, be rest assured you'll be updated here as the show progresses. DJ, I don't know if you've spoken about this kid, João
Yeah,
Victor de Souza, and
yeah.
rumors are that Barcelona are also interested in signing him. But yeah, I don't know if we're leading the race or if we've even made an offer. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's just at the moment, I'm not sure how reliable this source is, to be honest with you, Kitchell. I'm not sure. Are
The
these the same
age
people?
17 Burgos.
Are they quite? I'm not sure. Were they the same ones
This
that
is the
said the
first
same
time
thing
I'm
about?
seeing them.
Yeah, I've never heard of them. Sorry, you can hear my daughter in the background laughing, mate. Sorry about
No
that. If you
worry.
can hear any noise.
No,
Yeah.
no, no
So,
worries. I
so
mean, that's the beauty of having
yeah,
kids.
I know, brother. I know. She's because I've got my kitten up here, right? The kitten's up here, so she's coming around and playing with the kitten up here. It's not giving it any peace.
Oh, okay. I see. I see. I see.
So sorry, let me just. Okay, so basically, I've not heard, or I don't know about this source, so I don't know how true this rumor is. But to be honest with you, like I said, if we are looking at him, it would not surprise me by the way these owners are going that yes, they will probably go for a player like him because of his age and his talent. So it will not surprise me if he is linked with us. And what else is I've not seen much of. I've seen like you. I've seen videos. He does look a good player, but as I keep saying, these comparisons to Marcelo and all these kind of Brazilian legends that are out there, I wouldn't make that kind of comparison as yet. Each player has their own destiny, and look, I get
Just
you
as
got to follow.
Estevao has proven.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He didn't like to be. I mean, people were saying people were speaking of Estelle. They were talking about him being compared to Messi. He said, "No, I'm not." Yeah, I looked up to
And
Messi.
that's
He's one of
another
my
thing I like
heroes.
about that kid. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to cut you off. I do
yeah.
like that
No, bruv.
about him.
That's what I'm trying to say. He looked up to Messi. Okay, would you believe? Even though Brazilian Argentina, he looked up to him, but he goes, "He's not him. I want to start my own journey, have my own name." Do you know what I mean? And that's how you want to look at these kids, looking at that situation. And look, let's see what happens with this kid. If we get him, brilliant. But he won't be in the first team anytime soon. He'll probably end up coming in being loaned out to Strasbourg, for a while, or loaned somewhere else. But let's see what happens.
Yeah, the plan is to loan him to Strasbourg. I think one of the is it did Vince say that? I did see another. Yep. The Blues idea would be to close his contract and loan him for a season to Strasbourg. Yeah. He looks the real deal from what I've seen, but usually I don't like to, you can say, to bet on any player being that good until I watch them 90 minutes and then come that, which you can say my eye test will not complement what the numbers tell me. But that's, by the way, I keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 18 people watching, 21 likes. I think we're doing better. But I have my bro in the house in the Blue Clots Media. Nice to see you,
Big
my
up
bro.
to him,
Much
man.
love
Big
to
up,
you. If
big
you're
up, big
watching,
up, knee,
I've
big up, bruv.
that big up knee. I've triggered the command. I'm not sure why Nightbot hasn't presented the link to Knee's YouTube channel. But in the meantime, click the three dots to his name. Click on go to his go to his YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He deserves that. Excellent content creator, always objective. You see how your opinion matters here on Chelsea Perspective? It is the same up there. It's not about him, even though he owns the channel, but you could argue Chelsea fans own the channel because your opinion matters. You present your opinion. If he has a counter opinion, he does the same. But nice to see you, Nee. Big up to you. And the Blue Tiffle Gaming in the house. Big up, DJ. Um, co-host, the ground putter of the Chelsea Perspective. DJ trying not to give coach any tapping. His stats are diabolical. I don't like you at all. All right, we got Bobby in the house. Bobby, let me bring you into
Big up the beautiful
my
guy.
opinion of Cucurella's future. And I'm going to take my time and try the best I can to make sure you understand my point. You know I love Cucurella. You know I've been one of his biggest defenders in his lowest moment. When a lot of people gave up, I was still defending him because, yeah, there's a way I see football. But I'm saying Cucurella will eventually leave Chelsea. Why? Because of that same reason why we wanted to sell him. His salary was an issue, irrespective of whether he was not performing well at the time. So I'm saying chances are, come next summer, we'll start hearing about his departure again, and this time serious. Why? He's proven that he's an excellent player during the Euros, one of the best left backs in Europe, or if not the entire world right now. He can play he can perform, fulfill the left centre back role, left centre midfield role, wing back, and also the inverting full back role. He can do all those things effectively, and even though his approach, his application on the pitch might come across as erratic, it is effective. He knows how to, and unsettle players, get them angry. And I'm saying, except if the owners change our, you could say, the construct of the current contract we offer to players, that eventually we'll be hearing about him leaving, and it may well happen. Why? There won't be shortage of clubs interested in signing him, and football financial landscape has changed. Clubs are looking to save money from wherever they can, and if you can pay lower, if Renato Vega proves he can fulfill that role if as effectively as what's his name, as Cucurella, or even better, the club won't have a problem selling Cucurella, and we're looking to sign this kid right now. So even before I knew we were looking to sign this kid right now, I told Dante chances are, yeah, Cucurella. I told Dante that Cucurella will eventually leave, and the talk about that will start in 2025 when he'd have about 2 years left on his current contract. He will have plenty of options to choose from. But Bobby, I hope you understand my point. But what do you make of that theory? I want to hear from you.
Yeah, big up, coach.
Big up,
Big
my
up,
bro.
DJ. You
Big up,
know,
Bobby, bro. Hope you're well.
coach. I was listening to what was being said. Me and DJ, you can struggle to get a piece of paper between my words and his. DJ is one of my original gang members. So
Yep.
there's two of us, and we'll jump
Yeah,
you
big up to you,
if you
brother.
talk
Big
if you
up.
talk out a
Spot
lot.
on, Bobby. Spot on, Bobby. Tell him.
Yeah,
You tell him, bruv. You tell him.
we know what time of day. Listen, Listen, this is an interesting topic, and I really had to lend my 2 cents to this because, as I said yesterday, I always look at things from the bigger picture. And that was why I said a few things yesterday. Chelsea, the project, a lot of people are slowly beginning to understand it. It took them a while, and I'm glad they didn't fully understand it because you don't lay out your full business plans for people to just jump on and copy. When it's
Hmm.
successful, then everybody will want to be you, but by then you would have, set all the things in motion which may be very difficult to duplicate. Now, the multi-club system, before I get to Cucurella, is
Hmm.
so important for us. A lot of these young players, they take time. Look how Andre Santos is benefiting from it. They don't have to be with us all the time in order to play, develop, and get that so-called first team game time that will be required. And hence, I note that I release that sort of word of caution when it comes to Esteval Williams. I heard what you say about him, and I respect that. And in
No, but you made an
particular,
excellent point.
uh,
I'm
in
just,
pa-
I'm just, maybe I'm
in
cooking Bobby.
particular, let me land. In
Mhm.
particular, Kendry Pius. Don't be. The fan base shouldn't start getting on the club's case or anybody's case if they're found to not quite be up to it yet and need a season, maybe even 2 seasons at somewhere like Strasbourg, or if we acquire another club. I'm just dropping that out there so
Mhm.
that all this high expectation is a little bit tempered. We've seen how Andre Santos is benefiting from it. Someone mentioned Angelo Gabriel. I think he may need another season or two. We'll see come the pre-season if he's able to step up. That's always the yardstick. And if he is, then someone like Noni might be under threat. So just bank that and just know that is the purpose of the multi-club system. Now coming to Cucurella. You mentioned something about Newcastle that, in principle, they are perhaps the richest club in the world. But
Mhm.
those days are gone now. The richest club now, having wealthy owners can help you in terms of infrastructural or commercial dealings. But in terms of the club itself, football regulation has seen to it that the club's wealth is measured by the revenue that club can produce and their ability to sustain themselves and make a profit. So the wealth of a club can no longer be measured by the ownership, but will be measured by the club's sustainability and the club itself. Now, you may think that lends to your point about Cucurella. I also have to say that people have to understand Chelsea Football Club have never been, not since the late 1970s when they had to bail themselves out of some financial issues and get rid of the great FA Cup winning and Cup Winners' Cup winning side and the side that nearly that got them close to the old Division One. Not since then has Chelsea been in the business of getting rid of their best players. Even when we went through some difficult times in the 80s and so on, we did a trade for certain players like Pat Neving and all that, but it wasn't a total get rid of this player and there wasn't anybody else to put in that position. So let's just bank that. Cucurella, the financial system, people are saying, oh, Chilwell's going to be sold in January. Look, the reason why Chilwell wasn't sold in the summer is going to be the reason why he might not be sold in January. Unless he steps down his wages, it's going to be very difficult. The
Yep.
days of the 100 million plus player, as was seen in this last transfer window, where people like PSG, upon all their ownership money, even Real Madrid, they walked away from anything north of about 80 million. And the days of the 300K a week salaries a player is long gone. As I've said, Madrid is giving silly money to Mbappe, but that's because they didn't have to pay
A
a
dime. They
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
pay.
they
They
A
didn't
didn't.
pay a
transfer fee. A
transfer fee,
transfer fee,
right?
bro.
Did they
He
pay at
was a
all?
A
free
transfer fee.
transfer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cucurella, yeah, he's hopefully he continues doing well for Chelsea and so on. But I suspect a lot of these high earning players, especially as they're getting older, although he will just be approaching his peak then, but they will look at the market. And if the market is hesitant, he's not earning peanuts, Cucurella. What's he on? About 180? You
He's one
know,
of the top owners. Let me check for you.
yeah, about 180. Maybe he's just about crossed 200, thereabouts. Now, I looked at Barcelona's wages. They've significantly dropped it. Apart from Lewandowski and I think Lamar, very few of them are on this ridiculous money that used to be the case in Spanish football. It's only Real Madrid at the moment that's doing that, and they are doing it because a lot of their players are on a free, and they are, bringing in some fairly decent revenue, although they spend
Okay.
a lot. So, unless the market really
Korea is currently on 175.
there you go. I mean, that's not small money, and that's
It's
not
not that.
money that Chelsea could not turn around and say, okay, if he does really well, Chelsea say, okay, we'll give you 200. That's
And
not
if you don't mind,
really
Bobby, quickly, another caveat there. He's not on that contract construct that's heavily incentivized. He's not one of
well.
those.
There
Yeah.
you go. There you go. So there's room to move. I'm just playing sort of devil's advocate here. There's room for leverage. And he would be hard pushed, really, in this football regulated environment to find a club that's going to pay him anything north of, or, much further north of what Chelsea can flex for him, for want of a better word. So let's just keep that. Who knows? You never know what can happen in future. But the way he's playing now and his integral nature to the club, I very much doubt will be seeing that departure. But as you've said, let's wait and see. The football climate has changed. Man United are sailing close to the wind of PSR. They are bursting to get rid of high earners. They still want to offload players because of wages. Now, do they play over average wages? Yeah, they do that, and they will continue to do that. But if you notice, their current purchases, the wages are significantly trimmed from what they would do before.
Yeah.
Before, United would not hesitate to drop 400K a week on a player. That will never happen now. So those days are gone. Big wages are gone. This is why, what's his name? The guy we sent to Arsenal. Sterling.
Guy Havertz.
No,
Kai
Sterling.
Havertz.
No, no, no. I'm
Raheem
talking
Raheem
about
Sterling.
Sterling too.
Raheem
Sterling.
Yeah,
Sterling, bro.
we're in
Raheem
This is
trouble,
Sterling.
why
Bobby. We'll talk
Sterling
about him. Sterling is a
is,
serious.
is hanging on to
Mm,
his Chelsea contract
mhm.
because he knows nobody else is going to pay his wages. As it is, we're paying his wages at Arsenal because they
Mhm.
don't want to do it either. So the Cucurella argument is very, very, very subjective. The better
Yeah.
he performs, the greater his chance of
I
being
mean,
given
the
a
club may well decide to
contract.
make an exception.
Well, there's always an exception to
Yeah.
everything.
Mhm.
Always. Look at the exception they made for Cole
Yeah.
Palmer
It-
because of his
mhm.
performance.
Yeah.
Samford Jackson. They didn't do it for everybody, but they are into performance incentivization, which is what the basis of the Chelsea structure is. And Cucurella will easily fit into that if he performs well.
I hope he performs consistently to when we get to that bridge we'll cross it. I think it only makes sense for us to transition into the Raheem Sterling's Chelsea's Raheem Sterling's dilemma. It's important, but I'm going to catch up with what we have in the chat. That is important because yeah, he could care less, in my opinion. But let's get there. And the blue tip again, he's helped to share the link to my bros YouTube channel, my West African brother, my American brother in need. That's the link to his YouTube channel. Go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him grow. And by the way, I have a target pinned at the very top. If it is met, I'll sing a Christian song, a praise song in Yoruba language, not my native language, but that's one of my favorite songs. I will sing it. I did sing it in my dialect the last time somebody met the target up there. But just by the way, I'm sorry, Jude. It looks like Nightbot he's gone AWOL. That sometimes that happens. But click on the three dots to the name of Jude. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. Let's see what else we have here. And Jamalo, Jabulani Jamalo is saying, hi, Coach and Blues family. How about Chelsea signing the Swedish centre back Zabani of Bournemouth for our backline? Rumors are that we're looking at him. I don't know how far we're at for that. For if it will sign Kone of France in for our frontline Gyökeres. I don't think we need any more players in the midfield area, but it's up to the club to decide. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. I have no problem with us buying defenders. We need to get the formula and balance right at the back. Yep, that's the reason why the manager is currently playing 2-6s because we're horrible at the back. To get it right and have a crack at that defensive record, yeah, we can. But let's see what happens here. Mbappe was paid a 150 million sign-on bonus, though. Yeah, he got a sign-on bonus, but I'm not sure how much. I don't think they'd pay him that much. By the way, Sterling should leave the door open. He's no longer bigger than he was never bigger than the club. I'm not sure what she's saying there. Let's seamlessly transition into the Sterling discussion. Let's just transition into it. It makes sense because Bobby did mention it. And Bobby, I'll start with you. Here's where I have a problem. Let me look at this. I did a research and we owe Raheem Sterling about 70 million pounds in wages, given how much the length of what he has remaining on his current contract. Here's why I think that's a serious problem for us. And we did have a conversation at length with regards to Raheem Sterling's Chelsea situation, how much of a problem he is to us. When I think I can't quite remember what transpired at the time. His camp released a statement, right? Yada about how he was treated, about how Sterling is committed. And the club didn't say anything about his commitment. I think the situation was that he was omitted from the squad for a particular game, and he starts complaining. And then after that, we heard nothing from the club. Also, next thing his camp released a subsequent statement saying, Sterling is committed to the Chelsea cause. He wants to give his best. He's not looking to leave the club. And that if the club we wanted something to the effect of they're ready to talk with the club, which to me at the time, I interpreted that as being, if you want us to leave, we're not going anywhere. We're not just going to leave. If you want us to leave, come, let's talk. Let's talk about how much you're going to pay me before I leave. Yeah. And everything that follows showed that, he's not in a hurry to leave. And because he went to Arsenal, it's not a permanent thing. Him going on loan to Arsenal doesn't reduce his salary. We pay percentage of his Arsenal, pay percentage of it, and he still get his full salary. That was why he agreed to go. And we've also talked about how when players switch clubs, they look for pay rise. And in this case, I don't think he's bothered about representing England or not, because 70 million pounds is a lot of money. I think he's probably he's probably not gonna, you can say, be bothered a lot, because he will sit it out, and then he knows he's a burden to the club. The club will also try to find a way to get him to leave. So he knows if we want him gone, we have to pay him a lot of money. So his case, you can say, similar to the case of Danny Drinkwine Rose Barkley, who later got some fee before he left. So we're stuck there. Bobby, let me hear you talk about it. Are you there,
So,
Bobby?
yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, look, the club they fully understand that when they purchase Chelsea, look, these people are money. You know, their individual wealth is staggering, not to mention their collective wealth and the company wealth. They
Mhm,
can compete with anybody in world football. They're that rich. Now, the regulations in football has curbed their wealth and to keep and kept it within the auspices of the profit of the club. But these are very, very clever people. And as we've seen, they know how to take things to the margins, use the rules, and get things going for the club. Now, Raheem Sterling, they understand that Raheem Sterling is their mistake. I think they're fully aware of that. And with each passing year, what they owe him automatically, naturally diminishes. Now they've saved a little bit because his going to Arsenal. I've forgotten how the deal went. I know that we're paying at least up to
we're
what
paying
80%.
large part of his salary. Large
Yeah,
part of it. I think they're
but
paying
it's not
only 25%.
but it's not the full thing. So these people are very, very, very financially orientated. They know he's a loss. So what they're doing is minimizing the loss.
Mm,
Now, you know, he's gone to Arsenal one season. That's what 20% less than they would have paid him. Then he's down to 2 years of contract. Now he knows that his international career is finished. Probably his top level footballing career is finished too. So, you know, he may decide to say, okay, I'll hang on to my wages at Chelsea. Or if he really, really wants to play football that much, there are other options. There's the MLS, maybe, if they care to pay him that sort of money. They're the only people that have that, the only sort of league structure that
mhm.
will have the unbridled restraint to do such a thing.
They're
I don't
paying
think
bulk.
it's, yeah, well, I don't think it's good enough for that. And then there's Saudi. Now, the Saudis, I think they're beginning to cool down a bit on these sort of buys of, for want of a better word, Western reject players, because their league is now getting established. So
Mhm.
they're looking for quality now to pay. You know, they won't really go for him. So if the club have to pay him off, they will say it as, look, there's 2 years as opposed to 3 years at the beginning of this season, and they might just close their eyes and do it to get rid of him, because the ultimate aim of this club, as I said to you earlier, they are in the they want to win, and they know that winning can be expensive. They know that the project, there has to be damage, and sometimes you have to go for damage limitation. I don't think they are foolish enough to get so stressed out about Raheem Sterling. They've made a decision on him. He will be an example to anybody else, really, who thinks they want to hold the club to ransom. He will be the flagship to show them that, look, no matter what we're paying you, if we decide we're done with you, we're done with you. Now, I know the media will try and spin that into all sorts of webs to make Chelsea look bad, but that's business. That's winning business. Everybody does it. But it's just when we do things, it becomes too highlighted. So,
Mhm.
Raheem Sterling, let's see. I'll reiterate, we're dealing with very clever people. And I think all along, they will be looking for solutions, for want of a better word, for Raheem Sterling. Who knows what deal they could do to minimize the cost loss? But I can tell you that that if they cannot find any deal, he's not going to play for Chelsea again, and they will pay him off. It's that simple.
Yeah, key word from everything you said, they know it's a loss. They're just managing the loss to reduce. They're trying the best they can to reduce how much of a loss it will be. DJ, let me catch up with a bit of what we have in the chat. I'll come back to you to hear so that we can get your 2 cents on the Raheem Sterling situation. It's not as simple as a lot of people make it to be because they're not paying attention beyond the surface level. Some are actually still complaining that Chelsea are treating him badly. That was hilarious for me at the time. And Tiba Salifa is saying uh, we should handle Sterling like mafias. We terminate his contract if he forges. If he forges the cash we owe him. So okay, forgets. I'm getting if he forgets the cash we owe him. So he goes to Saudi on the free. If he refuses, threatens to bench him for next 3 years. Do you think he cares about you benching him? I don't think he cares. Hopefully, I read what you have on there correctly. Stalin got baptized and thought we would forget his crimes. Houston, big up to you too. Gungbechin Agaram, nice to see you on Wednesday. I appreciate you. Abby, thank you for joining the show. At Arsenal, he's been, my goodness, he's been even poor, even been worse than he was for us, in my opinion. That's a huge L for us. But DJ, let's get your thoughts on the Raheem Sterling situation.
No, listen, everything Bobby said is spot on.
Of course, everything Bobby said
And
is right.
because it is in terms of what he just said about the whole Raheem Sterling thing and about it. Because let's be real here, you've just even hit the nail on it, and you're spot on what you've just said as well. We are saying he
Oh,
looks
did
worse than
I?
what he was. Yeah, he looks worse than what he was at Chelsea, mate. Yes, he's not even getting a game at Arsenal, let alone flipping. He's not even getting to their cup competition games, mate. It just tells you how bad things have gone for him. Look, I've got nothing against Raheem Sterling. I've heard a lot of the saga that's come out since he left Chelsea about a couple of known reporters that are saying that we've treated him badly, which I think is a lot of nonsense. I don't think we have. I think he's had his chance. He's just not had a chance to. He's just not been. He's just not. We've just not seen the same players we saw at Manchester City, and obviously he's collecting a huge amount of money in terms of his salary each week. And obviously we need to try. Obviously, if you're not going to play, if you're not going to be playing week in week out at a club like Chelsea, okay, then obviously, of course, you're going to have to move on. And at the end of the day, he's moved on. I personally don't think. I think we will end up making a loss on him in the end because I don't know what other club can actually go and afford to get him. Or do we find ourselves, as Bobby would know about this player, another Winston Bogart situation? If anyone knows who Winston Bogart is, the
I
guy
know
sat
him,
on
but
the
I don't
bench for.
remember how his time at Chelsea went.
Yeah, he just sat on the bench collecting his wages, bro. That's all he was doing, mate. he wasn't getting into the team. And I think he had one game at Chelsea, one game, and he had such a bad performance in that game. The manager never trusted him after that, and he sat there sitting on the bench. Going, I'm not leaving anywhere. I'll just stay and collect my wages that I'm on each week until my contract finishes. So we could. I'm not whether again it comes to. I personally think though, for me, look, Raheem Sterling for me, look, is a professional. He's a full England international as well. I think if he really wants to play football, he'll have to try and do something
I don't
somewhere
think he
to go and
has a
play that
place in the
football.
English national team anymore.
No,
There's
no,
no
no, no,
space
no,
there.
no. He's not. He hasn't got. What I'm saying is, bro, he's still an England international. That's what I'm trying to say. So if he really does
Yeah.
care about his situation, he will go and try and go and find a club where he can actually, obviously get back to where he wants to or start his game all over again. And I don't, as I said, it's not going to happen at Chelsea. We all know it's not happening at Arsenal either. All right. So in the end, he comes back and we obviously will continue to pay his wages until his contract runs out. But like I said, in the end, like Bobby said at the same time, the owners might just turn around and say, look, let's just do a loss on it and let him go, and pay him whatever he needs and go and let him just go. But yeah, it's a strange one, the Raheem Sterling situation is. But at the same time, at the same time, I think for his future, we've talked about future and players' future. You talked about earlier on, you kicked on about Madueke, not Madueke, sorry, about our midfielder, Chukwemeka, who you think is good enough to go and play football somewhere else. I actually think Raheem Sterling is a good football player, but at this moment in time, he's probably not what we need at Chelsea. And for him, if he cares about that, he'll go. He will move on and find another club.
Did you remember they say every good thing comes to an end, right?
Yeah,
And
correct.
for every footballer, the timing of the end of their career is different. maybe he's gotten to his. He's had opportunities as Arsenal at Arsenal to show us what we're missing. Like he
Yeah,
probably was hyping himself to show us that
yeah.
picture, what he
He said
said,
that was a
you
mistake he
know, and
made,
all
and
that. Maybe that's it for him. In all honesty, that may well be it.
I
I
mean,
liked
look,
him. At
I'll
one
be
time,
honest with
he
you,
was
mate.
good,
I'll be
especially at
honest with you.
Liverpool. Yeah, go
He,
ahead.
he went to Arteta. He said, "Oh, Arteta knows my game from my Manchester City days."
Yeah,
But
but even
the
at
man's not
that,
even he's not even playing him, is he? So, so I just don't. I mean, I don't get the situation with him at the moment. And look, if he can't get into Chelsea's team, also can't get into Arsenal's team, then clearly there's clearly something in training that Arteta is seeing as well in the Arsenal trainer that's saying, you know what, this guy's not for my team. And so, it's just going to be one of those where he has to stay at Arsenal at least until the end of the season. He'll come back to Chelsea, and then obviously we'll have to find another solution for him. But I really hope he can improve himself. I really do, because I still think there's a player in him, but it feels like he's got no confidence anymore. I feel like he doesn't care, and you wouldn't think that about a football player, would you? But hopefully things can get better for him. But I don't think it's going to be at Chelsea.
I hope so, because here's the thing. Just like our manager have said, he's a nice guy, but we
Yeah,
don't win trophies with nice guy.
no,
We win trophies with good players.
yeah,
If you get my point,
he's a nice guy.
unfortunately for him.
Yeah. He's like an uncle figure, isn't he, in the Chelsea change rooms? They call him Uncle, don't they? I think
Yes,
Reece James came out and said it, didn't he?
I feel bad. I do feel bad for him. Go ahead with what you were saying, honestly, but we can't win trophies with, you can say, by
No,
getting
no,
emotionally
not
attached with players,
is
even when they
yeah.
perform or not.
No,
That's my.
I think
Go ahead.
I think the only good thing with the only good thing that comes out of it, yeah, if you want to call it a good thing, is he's an experienced player. But
Mm.
unfortunately, he's not allowed to show that experience because he's not even playing football at the moment. So you can be the experienced head in the changing room if you like, be the guy there. But look, that would be mocking his career altogether, mate. I still think I don't have a slight towards Sterling. I think he's a good player. I just don't think he's just not lived up to the expectations since he's come to Chelsea. He had one good season, I think, and then that was after that he kind of like fell through after that, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I'll
Can I
come back to
just
the
drop
point.
one
Yeah,
more thing
go
on
ahead, Bobby.
this?
Drop it.
'Cause,
Drop it. Yep, go ahead.
you know, all this, violin stuff for Raheem Sterling. Ultimately, he's not good enough.
Violent stuff.
Yep, that was
He's
what you were
not.
doing, DJ.
I was being
He's
polite,
not good
Bobby.
enough. No,
I
I
was
know.
being
I,
quite
I
rough.
just had, I just had to. You know how I talk. It's
I know
not.
you are, Bobby.
You
I
know.
know, Bobby. Straight to the
So
point, bro. That's what I
you
like about
know,
it. Straight to the point.
ultimately, he's not good. Coach is going to be laughing now. He's not good enough. And the thing is that football, especially top flight football, is a brutal sport. Ask those clubs that get relegated, and they will
Yep.
tell you what's what. People
Yep.
saying, "Oh, we're treating him badly." Yeah, 325K a week worth of badly. How much does that come to in a year? How many people in this country get to see anywhere near his weekly wages? Not to mention his annual wage. I think we need to, take perspective. They knew what this is all about. This is Premier League football at the highest level. You don't
Mm-hmm.
perform, you're done. Look at the
100%.
England team, how they dropped him from the England team. Nobody was
Yeah.
screaming about treating him badly then. Why?
Nope.
Because we're looking for the best. So I just think it's this same old sort of anti-Chelsea media nonsense. They look for anything to attack Chelsea with. Anything we do is their Arsenal to hit us. I know Coach will hate me saying this, a bit like what they do to this guy Donald Trump. Anything we do is what they'll use to try and make us look bad.
Yeah.
He's done. His time's done at this level, and he's
Yeah.
going to Arsenal. These Arsenal lot, aren't they funny? Do you remember when he was going there? Ian
Yeah.
Wright coming up. Oh, he's
Oh,
such a
yeah.
good player. Oh, Chelsea's lost. They were laughing at us.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
Chelsea are going to be paying
100%.
us for one of the best players. Look at that. Now they're all quiet. Arsenal are just they're full of feces. Sorry, I've been a bit.
Oh
Sorry,
my
No,
goodness.
I've been a bit
That's
blunt.
good. Here's the thing. It is what it is. It's gonna be a huge L for us, in all honesty. But let me catch up what we have. Similarly, we'll start talking about the resignation of Henrique Hilario. Is that his last name? I have
Hilario.
yeah, Hilario. I have a theory of again why I believe he left Chelsea. Let's see what else we have here. Sterling got bypassed. I think we read that one. Big up to you, AB. What happened to the likes of Badia Sheila? He's still here. Badia Sheila is not
Coach,
leaving.
please.
Yeah.
This Hilario. What's wrong with Thomas Tuchel? Can't he find his own coaches? He's
Oh,
been
okay,
to
okay.
a...
Can I just catch up? Don't give it away, Bobby. Please let me catch up if you
All
don't
right.
mind. Okay. Yep. What happened to the likes of Badia Sheila? Badia Sheila is still here, especially after we got a brief from the club saying he's not going anywhere. I know AC Milan. Is it AC Milan or Juventus actually are looking? They you can
And
say
AC,
testing the
bro.
waters to see if we're gonna
Both
sell him, but
clubs.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
Both
Who?
clubs, coach. Both clubs.
Both?
AC
Okay,
and
okay.
Juventus are looking at him. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Big up to you, Mike and Newman. I appreciate you. And Vic is in the house. Vic, did you unfollow me on X or was it a mistake? Because it has happened to me before. I'm just going to block you without asking too much questions. And big up to you, Keisha, my New York bro. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well and I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Let's see what else we have here. What? How has he? I'm not sure I understand that. I know what you're asking, but I'm not going to answer you. Vic is saying Sterling doesn't need to find another club at 29. I like this. This is a delicious comment. He doesn't really have to.
Yep.
He's on 300K a week. That's up to Chelsea holding Sterling to run. So just go away. I like the first part of your comment, but the latter part, I don't. I know you know exactly what you're doing, but you made an excellent point. He's not going to be in a rush to leave. Doesn't have a place in the England squad anymore, in my opinion, except if that changes because Thomas Tuchel likes him and would want to prove, that he did see a good player in there. But if he selects him, English fans will turn on him even before he kicks the ball. Sterling needs to be, my goodness, he's washed. He would contribute more at Wendy's
Oh God.
than a top club. You guys are all going to the H place, and I'm serious about that. Coach, I'm from Enugu State. I'm from Ame to be precise. Yeah, now you know my villa too, right? You know my village. But I'm an American. Truly African American. You can say that, Nigerian American,
Big
whatever.
up,
But
Bass.
I love my adopted country. I also love my birth country. Big up to my number one legend. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Mabas05, my Iraqi
Big up,
bro. I
big up,
appreciate
Mabas.
you. He says, let's hope Raheem Sterling can be sold prominently. I don't want him anywhere near Chelsea. He's not coming back. If he comes back, he's going to sit on the bench. Except if we face this sort of situation where we face on the ground Potter, which I don't see happening again because we're managing our players' load to ensure we don't experience such situation where just as under Pochettino, where we average at least 8 players out at the same time with injuries last season. Sterling is not good enough. All right, but so is Mudryk. Okay, if that's what you believe, go ahead. We're not going to fight today. But the shining new toys get the privilege. Okay, if that makes you happy, go ahead, take it and run with it. What else do we have here? Keep dropping likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. And NHS doctor makes 100K a week. We're out here crying for Sterling, who makes 3 times that amount. We're not crying for him, but some on X are. In all honesty, some on X are. So I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and I'll try the best I can to get to your subsequent contributions in the chat. If Sterling comes back, then he can become Barcelona's. Okay, let's see. Chelsea is still paying Sterling 165K a week while on loan. Chelsea we're paying. Is it how much of it? 165K, and Arsenal are paying the rest. Is that what the case is? Can you break it down even more? But Bobby, coming back to you, Hilario tendered his resignation, and you're sounding as if the reason was because he wants to go and work with Thomas Tuchel. But let's hear you. Is it gone? Is Bobby gone?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
My understanding, I haven't done a deep dive into it, but my understanding is he's going to join Tuchel in the
Yep.
England setup,
Yep.
which I think is a bit of a cheek. What's wrong with Tuchel? He's always coming to Chelsea. Doesn't Bayern Munich have any coach that he thinks he can use? I mean, it's just, it's. I think it's a bit of a piss take, to be honest. Um, I don't know. I don't like that. This coming. Oh, let me plunder Chelsea. Well, what's all that about?
But Bobby, I'd rather you have a go at Hilario himself. Why is he resigning if he really loves the club? I mean, but I get your frustration, though. But go ahead.
Well, it depends how Tuchel sold it to him. You know. There's no. If you give someone temptation, it becomes a matter of will they fall for it or not. If Tuchel doesn't go near him, he doesn't get the temptation. It is what it is. He's a goalkeeping coach. I'm sure before Chelsea let him go, they have somebody else in mind who they probably wanted more in the first place. And, the new ownership would probably rather have their own people anew than these sort of ex Chelsea's. And remember, we do have Caballero in Maresca's coaching staff. Whether he will double up as a goalkeeping coach, I don't know. I don't even know if that's his skill set, despite the fact that he was a goalkeeper himself. But I just think it's a bit much from Tuchel. He took our our set piece coach
Harry.
and took
Yeah.
him off to Bayern Munich. Now he's come for this geezer. I don't like it. Let's put it that way.
I don't like it, but at the same time, as much as I don't like it, I mean, it's business, or business for all parties involved. Chances are that he'd earn a lot more by joining Thomas Tuchel, which I believe that's the case. I don't think he's just resigned from his job at Chelsea if it's not going to get a lot more. Um, and
Well,
and
we'll
and
see. We'll see. There's
and
nothing even
maybe,
guaranteed
yeah,
that Tuchel will have any longevity in the England game. His contract is only 2 years, if that. And if he goes there and has a few stinkers, he's going to
yeah,
be out the
and
door.
maybe as you've talked, yeah. And maybe
So
as you've
anyway.
talked about, Bobby, maybe we're not gonna miss anything there. Given what's his name, the former Man City goalkeeper and Chelsea goalkeeper too, and I think he did come with another goalkeeping coach too, not just him. Maybe that was why it was easy for him to actually accept the offer.
Yeah,
This again, there's a lot
hope
more to
I
learn from it.
I hope so, because the goalkeeping area is an area that we are quite weak. And those goalkeepers need consistent tutelage. I think we do have somebody else. We got the guy that wanted Sancho anyway, that guy that came from Brighton,
Ben
haven't
Roberts.
we? Yeah, so we've got him. But
Yeah.
the goalkeeping setup is a team, and Chelsea's goalkeepers are the one area that we are still seeking perfection. It is what it is. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but I just think, crikey, Tuchel, can't you flipping go somewhere else? Why must it always be Chelsea to go and solve your problems? It's like Lampard. Whenever he goes somewhere, he comes, oh, Chelsea, let me get Chelsea's that. F off, mate. You're done with Chelsea. Do you know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Bobby, you're on a hype today, bro. I tell you that
No,
now. Straight to the point, man. I
I'm
don't know. Excellent.
sorry.
That's good. It's good. It's
I
good.
really want to go to heaven, and Bobby's not gonna be the one to drag me down the other end. All right.
Ah, it's excellent. It's excellent, man. It's excellent.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good.
Good conversation, irrespective. Hilario coached Kepa and failed to improve him for 4 years. Good riddance. Yes, then that's just your opinion. The truth remains, you can't coach everything. You can Coaching cannot fix everything. Kepa is challenged vertically, and Hilario can't coach him into adding 2 feet more to his height or anything else. But you are entitled to your opinion, bro. Yes, just go, Vic. You and I. First of all, you unfollowed me on X. Whether that was a mistake or not, I don't know. Or maybe you've not been following me. I'm just kidding anyway. I've tried. What was I doing that day? Unfollow Windows, and I'm not following back, and I mistakenly unfollowed the Bluetooth again. I think I had to explain it to him actually, not lie about it. But he knows I will never, you could say, deliberately unfollow him. If Gallagher comes back to Chelsea, then he can become. I'm not going to read such thing again. What else is going here? Anything else to read? We have Michelle, the Bernardine, James Russell, and Ben Roberts as goalkeeper trainer. So this highlights why it, yeah, probably was easy to accept it and let him move on. And I don't think it probably decide to move on like that if we don't have those names that Vic mentioned there. So it makes sense. No, no, I got an update saying Vic followed you. I got that today. You followed me today. But I know technology can be quirky, and these things happen. So I would I just wanted to joke about it. Anything else here we want to talk about? Bobby, I don't know if you have anything to say about João Victor de Souza, the left back, dubbed the new Marcelo. He's good. He's not quite there yet, and the plan is to sign him and loan him out to Strasbourg, and I'm happy about that. If you don't have anything to talk about, to say about him, we can move on to the next item we have lined up. And as
Yeah,
soon
I
as
mean,
we get, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know this guy, but isn't that the Chelsea way? That is just what we do. We pick up these kids.
Unearthing
There's
talents.
there's a youngster we've already got. He's out on loan. I don't know whether it's Strasbourg or somewhere else. What was his
The
name?
American,
Yeah, that's right. What is his name?
alone at Strasbourg, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's at Strasbourg. So he's a left back as well. So it's what we do. This is what I'm saying. This is the whole sort of multi-club structural thing. You get these kids out there, you allow them to develop, and the cream will always rise to the top. Some players, they don't fulfill their potential till they're about 25, 26 years old. Not all of them will have to stay at Chelsea and learn their trade. And as we've said, Andre Santos, who scored a brace, I think, recently in his last game before the international break, seems to be thriving in that model. So much so that I really suspect come the summer, the next pre-season, he will take his place and we will see KDH kicked to the curb, which would be a very good thing.
It's not gonna happen, Bobby. I'm
I
not just
know
gonna
he's
tell
your
you.
cousin, but he's there's no way he's just not gonna. I'm waiting to be surprised, but
Okay,
really,
we'll find out. In all honesty, it's not gonna happen. And again, I don't defend players just for the sake of it, but let's see what happens anyway. Let's see what else we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. This particular, it's afternoon already. We started in the morning, but right now it's 12:53 noon my time. What else do we have here? How many likes? 27 likes. Not bad at all. And apologies to those of you who prefer following the show on X. I had to stop broadcasting on X because I didn't update the title and it said just test. Apologies for that. Let's see what else we have here. We'll move on to the next item. We've talked about Hilario. And then we have this Jason Condi siding with Bobby on this one. Condi says, I will wait until I see him in a Chelsea shirt. He's talking about Estevao William. But I am excited and salivating of the thoughts of this boy of the thoughts of this boy looks and feel like, of what this boy looks and feel like. He's again, from what we're seeing from afar, it gives us hope. You can say we have the belief that we've signed one of the up and coming best. You can say the best of all the up and coming talents in world football. Whether he'd be able to still perform at that level up close, aka when he becomes a Chelsea player proper, would find out. The second paragraph reads, people in the know, I respect their opinions. Journalists who follow South American football, these guys are raving about him, which is a good sign. And as I said yesterday, there's hardly ever a player from Brazil hyped as much as he's been. Estevao Willian is being hyped that doesn't make it. I can't remember any, in my opinion. But before that, before I go to DJ to get his opinion on this kid, yo, Keishan, my bro, did I miss anything you wrote there? Okay, saying big up Mabas. Let's see. Mabasi's there. He's Mabasi's lost some nuts in his head, so I'm not gonna read everything he has there. So DJ, let's hear your thoughts, Esther William. Uh, do you buy Bobby's concern? Bobby's not really a concern. I think it's a legit concern at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what to call it. But Bobby's more like, yeah, let's see him up close and see. Then let's not overhype him.
Yeah.
Because that
Yeah.
may well turn out to be a problem. But I'm not concerned. Let's hear from you, DJ.
No, I did. If you remember at the beginning of the stream, Kachira, you were talking about this other, the left back that we were looking at, and I said, let's not overhype these
Mhm.
players. Let them be their own players. And as I said earlier on about Estava Willian, I did say earlier on, the one thing I like about this kid is his attitude, because when he was made comparisons to Messi, he actually turned around and came out and said, "No, I'm not a Messi type player. I'm not a Neymar type player. Whatever. I am my own. I want to be my own. I want to make my own destiny. I want to make my own way." For people to like me for what my skills, my skill set. So that tells me already the kid's got that. The kid's obviously got, he obviously knows for himself. That he wants to go and make his own legend status in the game rather than being compared to some of the legends out there. So for me, in that kind of like way, that's why I like his attitude. I'm not going to overhype him. I've seen a lot of him in terms of what highlights of him and seen him in some of the Brazilian games that I've watched him. He does look a talent, I've got to say. But as I said, I'm not going to sit here and say, yes, he's going to come to the Premiership, he's going to smash it for us, because at the end of the day, this is the issue we're going to have is, and I can just see it happening now, is if he doesn't have a good game and he has a slight off his, I can just see the Chelsea fans switching on him. And this is what we tend to do. We bring all these kids that come over, we overhype them as fans. They don't produce, and all of a sudden they get a lot of crap from the fan base, and we're seeing that with Mihailo Mudryk. I think this kid's already got enough. He's always been made a scapegoat in every game that he plays in, even games that he doesn't even play in. He still gets made a scapegoat for not even playing a game. Oh, it's all Mudric's fault when it's not. So this is what I'm keeping. What I will say is I'm going to keep the same thing with this kid. The same with Kendrick Players as well. Again, seen him play in terms of watching him on TV and whatever. But I'm not going to overhype him until he comes to Chelsea and shows what he can do. And as I said, if it doesn't work straight away, the fans have got to be patient. And I think all three of us sitting on this panel right now, we all know out there that our fan base is not a patient bunch. If a player is not performing to the levels that they want them to perform at, they'll turn on them. And I'm just waiting for that day will happen. If Cole Palmer has off and on games and he doesn't stop performing, I just know the fan base are going to switch on this kid as well. So we got to really, really be careful when we overhype a kid and just see it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Kachila? That's just my my opinion on things. But I do think he's a good talent for the future for sure, and hopefully he'll be able to step it up for us when he does eventually come to Chelsea.
Yeah, Bobby, I know your concern wasn't about the fans turning on him. I'd like to hear from you. Let's get it from the horse's mouth. I'm not calling you a horse, by the way. I know
Yeah.
you know that. Uh,
Yeah.
can you please let's hear you? You can say speak about your concerns with regard to putting. I think it's something to the effect of putting a lot of pressure on the kid. But that's, by the way, we have
Yeah.
Ryan Beck, aka
Put him on
aka
again first.
Khalid. Nice to see you, Khalid. I appreciate you. Go ahead, Bobby. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, again, in agreement with what DJ said. Look,
Shocking.
it's not a concern. It's just a note of caution and a reality check. This kid hasn't even lived in Europe, not to mention play in Europe, not to mention play in England. This is an entirely different setup. Even the best players need a little bit of settling in time. Now, I would be more than pleasantly welcoming and surprised if he hits the ground running and starts ripping up trees. But I'm more prepared to allow an 18-year-old boy a little bit of time to find his stride. And I, just like DJ said, I know the Chelsea fan base. They're all hanging on to this idea that, oh, this is the best player. to come out of the Brazil, generational talent, yada yada yada. Okay, that's fine. It's probably true, but if this generational talent needs a little bit of time to get used to the Premier League tackles, pace, settling into a new home, environment, weather, these are all little things. Now, fortunately, as we've all alluded to, he seems to come from a very sound family, good home that keep an eye on him, just like Messi. Messi had a very good structure. His father was very close to keeping him his feet to the ground and making him train and focus on his trade. This kid seems to have the same thing, but the country is also new to his family. So there's an awful lot there for an 18-year-old to get used to. Now, his age could take him time, but one thing, his age could also be a benefit because young people are resilient, they
Yeah, they
adapt
tend to
so
adapt
much,
quicker than older people, right?
so much better. Yes, they do, but it's going to take time. I can just see it. He gets on the field, a cold midweek November down in Blackpool or somewhere, and this guy throws a stinker. I mean, crikey, we saw Cole Palmer put in a stinker against Nottingham Forest. It's just that he's played so many excellent games, but that game, I'll never forget it. We went away and they beat us. Remember, in the League Cup, we had to come and thrash them back at Chelsea. But that
Mm.
was an awful game, and he was terrible that day. I think it's probably his worst game for Chelsea to date. It's all forgotten because the next game he punished them. So I can imagine that sort of thing happening with this kid. He's going to go there a cold, dreary day, muscly, physical midfielders and defenders kicking lumps out of him, and he'll be wondering what the hell's going on here. He traps the ball, tries his little samba, and they clatter him. That's English football. It happens. Welcome to England. He's going to get a lot of that. So he has to adapt, and I'm sure he will. And that's just my point. I just want our fan base to be a little bit tempered in all the hype and let them keep quiet. I can remember I was on Mitch's channel. We were talking about Cole Palmer, and I was saying, I don't like the attention he's getting. And, and I explained why. I've seen it all before. Is it Michael Owen? Is it David Beckham? Our media is so good at hyping someone up. Why? They're loading it up for when they're going to throw him down. And I don't like that. I'd rather he's just a little bit quiet, less hype about some of his better games. That's why I'm so happy we've got Pedro Neto, because Neto is going to take away some of the limelight. That kid is dynamite. He really is a damn good player. And against Arsenal, he took away the attention to Cole Palmer because Cole Palmer didn't really have a very good game against Arsenal, albeit his injury was the reason. But when you have a good team, then you have a lot of good players to take away the attention from you. It's like um, Man City, Rodri comes in, he does his thing, he becomes a distraction to take away a little bit of pressure and a little bit of highlight from De Bruyne, for example, or Bernardo Silva. Another, what the more good players you have, the better it is to take away so much attention, especially from our media. But back to Esteval Williams, it's not necessarily our media that's hyping him up. Everybody's hyping him up. And I just want him to be given that time to settle and to show us what he's about. That's the point I'm making.
Don't just expect too much. If you expect too much, irrespective of how good that person is, in most cases you get disappointed.
Well, this is it. You're setting him up
Yeah.
to fail, which
Yeah.
is not good.
And just to add another thing to what Bobby said as well, Couture, we all know as well with the fan, like Bobby said, with not the fans, but the media out there, is if things go, say for example, things don't go well for Istari, they're going to say, "Oh, Chelsea have ruined another player," because we get accused of ruining players as well,
Get
and
blamed for everything. Yeah.
that's another thing that could also playing Namija's hands if he doesn't do as the hype is all over him for
Yeah,
when
then
he
the
comes in.
discussion
Oh,
that
Chelsea
yeah,
have ruined his career.
yeah,
I can imagine
that
that
he
all
could have
coming
been
out.
better off joining Barcelona or Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Spot on.
yeah,
Yeah,
that sort of
Yeah,
talk. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, but
look at
yeah, that's at
Modric.
least yeah. Mhm.
Modric was excessive, really hyped before he came. Wow, scoring Champions League goal. Modric is a child. He needed time to settle in. There are other mitigating circumstances around it. Kid who came from a war-torn region, you don't know the impact of that on his family, relocating. All these things take its play. Now, Modric is slowly beginning to show that he is that player we paid for. But you've got to give him time. He's 23 years old. Sometimes these players don't really blossom till they're about 25, 26. In some cases, maybe even 27 years old. So, this expectation that they must be these great players because we paid money for them and there was all this hype, I think we shouldn't fall for that.
All right, let's see. Ryan Bex, Calito says the fans and the media need to stop talking about Cole Palmer. There are many great players on Chelsea, and this coverage is comically excessive. Bobby, this lines perfectly with what you just said about you mentioning how you can say we're hyping him too much on Mitch's YouTube channel. And here, Vic is saying, Bobby, I
Yeah,
know you
we
don't take
we
anything
were in
personal. We're
agreement.
having a conversation here. This one
Yeah,
here from Vic says, Bobby, he didn't mention your name, but I'm quite sure he's talking about you. He
he
says
likes to attack me sometimes.
he says,
What he
Bobby, you
said.
need to extend the non privilege to Esteville. I don't
Okay.
expect him to hit the ground running, but I wouldn't be surprised if he does or if it doesn't. It makes sense. Look, he's a human being.
Yeah.
And there's a way you did put it yesterday that I like. You used the term culture shock. And you
Yeah.
also did say something that I paid attention to. Younger players, he's not married yet, and that makes a huge difference. Younger players, for multitude of reasons, one of them being that he's not married, they usually, again, because it's just them alone in most cases, it's easier for them to adapt quicker. They do adapt quicker than older players in most cases because older players, they worry about their family, wives, sometimes kids, and all that. But that's, by the way, let's hear you if you want to respond to this particular comment there.
Yeah, I think he's right. He didn't attack me. He just said the right thing. It's
Bobby, hey,
you know,
attacked you. Say something that
well,
will get
well,
him mad.
you just want me to fight with someone today, coach. I know. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yes, there is a measure of nonny privilege by that. I don't think it's privilege. I just think the coach felt that he's got to a point where he needed to show faith in him and to play him into form. Every player has a different thing. I mean, look what he did with Modric. He after a while he dropped him, then he put him in the Conference League and he played him there and in the cups. I don't know what he's going to do with Esteval William. It depends on Esteval William and how he performs when he gets here. But the only point I'm making is that if he doesn't perform up to that hype, we must give him the time and we must allow the coach to help him. If we see him just playing of the odd cup games, we shouldn't start complaining, oh, he's no good. Oh, you're going to sell him to Real Madrid. All that usual Chelsea BS. Just let it be, let it take its process. These things sometimes take time. Now, he might come and immediately hit the ground running. Somehow, I doubt that's going to happen. He's a human being. He's going to need time.
All right, let's see what Ryan says here. Esteban William weighs 120 lbs. He's going to struggle in England. How much do you think Cole Palmer weighs? If you really want to talk about that. But I get where you're coming from. I think you're into, again, I'm not sure how else to phrase this to not trigger people's dirty minds. Houston, we'll see what happens. Let me just leave it at that. And Ryan here also saying, sorry about that. Ryan here also, he's saying Pies and Esteville will probably go out. And then Esteville isn't going out on loan. He will not. I'm telling you that. Esteville William will not go out on loan. I mean, I can bet a buck. That's my betting limit with you. He will not, but we'll find out. You have your opinion, and my opinion is that that's never going to happen. But we'll see. And the blue Tiffany game is back in the house. The deliberate. Okay, it's deliberate with Estevao. The media are painting a great big target on his back, so he gets a warm welcome in his first game in England. The agenda and the hate on CFC continues. Wow, that's some serious twist right there. And GFC, govern! I don't know why Nightbot, he doesn't show up for games. I just don't know why. I would have triggered the command to show people the link to your YouTube channel, but it's easy. Just click the three dots, so his name you'll see. Go to channel, go there, subscribe. Let's help him get to 10,000 subscribers as soon as possible. As he continues to grow, you can manually share the link there, since Nightbot has refused to participate. The coach is getting too close to Bobby. We don't like that. You want us to be enemies, right? All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Nothing else. We'll go back to our address and the items we have lined up on the browser. We've talked about Esther for William. Again, when we see him up close, we get to understand. So this is about the brilliance of Moises Caicedo. He's been excellent, in my opinion. Moises Caicedo is the only player in the Premier League this season to win 50 plus duels. 73%, I'm guessing, percent. Okay, in total. Win possession 50 plus times, 59 in total. Okay, why not just say 59? Make 30 plus tackles, 38. I don't like this. Just tell me he's made 38 successful tackles or number of tackles. Complete 500 plus passes, 516. He's a warrior. Yep. I think he's overcome the weight of the transfer fee, in my opinion. If ever he was indeed under the pressure of how much we paid for him, I don't think so. But I'm just going by what people are saying. I've always known he's an excellent player. I've always known that, yeah, it will only take a bit of time before he comes into his own, and he's showing that. He reads the game very well. He's becoming even more polished, fulfilling the DM role. Because for me, in my opinion, he was never a DM. He was more of a box-to-box midfielder, and if anything, a hybrid of 8 and 6, not traditionally 6. But yeah, he's well equipped to fulfill that role effectively, and he's proven that, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm becoming too comfortable. You're not gonna get me to read everything you have there, especially when you're butchering a player. I'm not gonna read that. So good, just leave me alone, my boss. Let's move on to the. I don't know if anybody on the panel want to talk about how well Moises Caicedo has done so far this season. It'd be interesting to see what you have to say before we move on. Up to you, DJ. You have anything, or should I go to Bobby?
No, I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, Kachilla, on Caicedo. I think a lot of I think last season a lot of people were saying, "Oh, we're not seeing the real Caicedo from his Brighton days," but I think we all knew there was a player in him. I think he showed that towards the end of last season. What a player he was with that wonder
Mm-hmm.
goal as well that he scored. And I think he's just gone on to leaps and bounds from there. To be fair, and when people come on to me saying, "Oh yeah, my Arsenal fans, oh yeah, Declan Rice a better midfielder," no, he ain't a better midfielder
Yep.
than Caicedo. No way near that. And I think he showed that in the Arsenal game anyway. So for me, yeah, I'm not surprised by those stats. May it long continue. We all know he's an excellent talent. He's an excellent football player, and I'm just glad we've got him at Chelsea for many years to come. And I really, really hope Lavia can stay fit, and that midfield will really shine along with Enzo Fernandez in there. But yeah, he's just been brilliant. I can't, I won't. What do you call it on that one? He's just been superb. Long may it continue.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just wish Klopp is still coaching Liverpool, the manager of Liverpool. He was making fun of us, saying something to the effect of them being lucky not to have signed Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo. I knew at the time it was just absolute hot dunk, because I know the quality of the players was signed. I wasn't concerned, irrespective of what club said at the time. I don't care. Coach, we are waiting for the song in Yoruba. Yeah, you have to meet that what we have there first. Don't be a fraud. How are you gonna get 10 super chats in one stream? Yeah, it's possible. Have you? I freaking hate you, man. You're not my brother anymore. Just don't ever talk to me again. But that's by the way, Bobby. Do you have anything to say about Moises Caicedo? Let's hear you, Bobby.
Yeah, I mean, Caicedo is absolute quality, and I believe he's a player. He's one of those players that they'll start performing so well that everybody will forget his price tag and maybe even start looking at it as a bit of a bargain.
Mhm.
He yet again, to my point, Caicedo's a young player. People forget this is just a kid. And yet again, not only did he play in the Premier League for a season, but the transition to Chelsea weighed heavily on him. He needed time to get into his stride. And this is somebody that wasn't changing countries. He came from, is it Ecuador? Is it Europe? I forgot where he's from. Ecuador.
Yeah.
And
That was where Brighton signed him from.
Ecuador,
Yeah.
bro, Ecuador.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he spent a year in Brighton, did well, but the transition to Chelsea weighed on him for a while, and it wasn't until the end of the season that he really started showing what he could do. Now,
And the
a lot of
fans
that
didn't
was the
help. If
whole
we're being honest, Bobby.
well, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of that was the transfer saga, no preseason. And, he had to even hire a personal coach to take him through his strides physically and mentally to get him up to scratch. So, this is to my point, Esteval William. We have to give him time. I don't see him coming into Chelsea and immediately ripping up trees. I think it'll take him a little while to get his feet under the table, then we'll start seeing the wonders of what
And
he's
if he
about.
and if he hits the ground running, thank God.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate all. Yeah, Josh doesn't say too much, but he can be very funny. I will never forget that. Yeah, I do. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes that do go a long way. Change it to 3 super chats. You will sing. Trust me. You don't know me. I'm not saying I'm not Whitney Houston, but I can sing, especially if you're talking about gospel songs. Because yeah, but I'm not gonna say anything again. Just leave it. No, I'm not changing it. Just go away and forget about it. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I will sing, but not for cheap. Leave me. Okay, Jadon Sancho has made a surprise return to training this week and is believed to have put himself under consideration for replacing the squad for the trip to Leicester City. I think he starts. He didn't travel, trained for the manager for a few days now, while those that compete with him, some of them traveled. And I wouldn't mind seeing him on the right hand side, but let's see what happens. And Bobby, beyond his fitness, I've seen some people suggesting that he may still have a chance at United. That is if we decided not to purchase him because we have an agreement that if we like, we can buy him, right?
The agreement is an obligation to buy. It's cast in
So
stone.
he's
Fabrizio
practically a
Romano
Chelsea player.
retweeted that he is a Chelsea player. He is a Chelsea player. All it is just a delayed payment. It's like when you go to a store, you buy some goods and you sign a delayed payment contract, which means you can start paying for it. Some deals after 6 months, some deals. I mean, I've just recently bought a dryer and I've on a delayed 9-month delayed payment.
Mhm.
In 9 months' time, I start the payments. It's that is him. He's a Chelsea player. There's no doubt about it. If Chelsea don't want him, they'll be in a very awkward position of having to pay according to the commitment they've made and then sell him, which is just ridiculous. So Romano retweeted that today when people were talking about, Amorim's coming, he might want to take a look at Jadon Sancho. No, that ship has sailed.
I thank you for clarifying that. In terms of his the possibility of him playing this weekend, DJ, any thoughts on that, or should we move on?
Nah. If he's, I say, if he's fully fit, and he can come in, I won't complain. We're nice to be seeing him and Neto on one side and him on the other side. To be honest with you, because like Bobby said about Neto earlier on, what a player. So yeah, yeah, I wouldn't complain if I see him playing at the weekend. But I don't know if I don't know how fully fit he is though. To be fair, Coachella.
Yeah. Just 1 second. Yeah. I think I did something and he walked in because he had superpower. He deleted it. All right, he deleted it. The Bluetooth game. Close the gates of the H negative place. I'm not coming. Yeah, he has superpower. That's why he's deleting it. And I haven't given Nightbot the superpower so nobody can delete whatever he says. And I'm gonna highlight it. Yeah, I have that power not to highlight it, even if you hide it. And it shows. But that's by the way, people. It's been fun so far. Let's see what else we have lined up next. I hope Nani stay on the bench and Sancho too. I think Sancho probably will start, in my opinion. And if Leicester City are going to defend deep, I haven't quite paid attention to how they play since coming back to the Premier League, but I think I'll find out in a bit. Let's see. He says you're moving like Poch playing Gallagher left wing. It won't work. Yeah, yeah. But I can highlight it. You forgot that. You think if you delete it, that's it. Nobody's gonna see it. Let's see what else we have here. Let's move on to the next one here. All right. Most improved players so far, according to the Premier League pundits. They mentioned Ryan Gravenberch of Liverpool, Tim Shaw again, who Matt Holland is the one that mentioned him. Tim Shaw would mention Levi Colwell. I wouldn't count him as one of the most improved players this season, in my opinion. Karen Connie mentioned Chris Wood of Nottingham Forest, and Don Hutchinson mentioned Ryan Gravenberch. He's always been that good, so I wouldn't count him as most improved. I'd be shocked if he's not performing at the level he's performing. Michael Owen mentions Chris Wood, also of Nottingham Forest. Leon Osman mentioned Ryan Gravenberch. And Sean Wright Phillips mentioned Nicholas Jackson, and Shea Given also mentioned Nicholas Jackson. I I was I'm shocked that they don't have Moises Caicedo there. He's improved better than he's way better than he was again last season. That even Declan Rice himself is singing them praises. So I'm not sure. DJ, what do you make of this list? Really, would you add or remove anybody from here? I'd remove Levi Colwell and put Moises Caicedo there, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. I'm surprised Caicedo hasn't been mentioned in that list by these players. To be honest with you, he has. He's probably up for me. I think he's probably the most improved. Well, when I say improved, since he's come to Chelsea, improved in terms of coming to Chelsea. He's been improved midfielder that we've that started for us. So I don't understand why his name is not even on there. Who would I remove from that list? I probably would say. They've all been good. I probably would say maybe Levi Corwell, to be fair, on that list.
I will
I'd
remove
have him
him
in
from
there.
that list in a heartbeat. But go ahead.
I wonder why, Kuchela.
I'm not gonna say he hasn't improved. He has
No, no,
improved, but I
no,
will
no,
remove him in a
no, no,
heartbeat. He hasn't
no, 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 Rob. I know,
performed
I'm messing, I'm messing.
consistently. But go ahead.
No, he hasn't. Not on a consistent basis. Is correct. He hasn't. That's probably why I would say probably him out of that list. But it's a bit of a surprise, really. I said the most improved player for me is Caicedo, and I wouldn't even actually. I'm not going to say. I'm also another improved player that's been good for us is Cucurella. That no one
Yeah,
seems to be
I would
mentioning
add
as
him.
well.
Yeah,
That's another one that's
exactly.
been most improved as well. But not
Yeah.
many people are mentioning him either. So yeah, for me, those two players in the Chelsea at the moment are the two I probably would say are the most improved players in that setup.
Yeah, this is absolute hot dung, in my opinion, that Kukurea isn't there. That's unbelievable, really. If you measure you can say the profile of the players he's put into his hidden, still hidden inside his hair. You should be there, Bobby. What do you make of this list? Do you agree that these are the most improved players in the Premier League? Ryan Gravenberch
Yeah,
appearing 3 times. I don't question that. He's done well, but I don't know
mm.
about Levi Cole being on that list, really, even though I like him. But go
Yeah,
ahead, Bob.
I agree with the Levi Colwell thing. I think he still has improvement to do, as does somebody like Modric. They're still in the process of improvement, but I wouldn't really call it as something to recognize yet. Jackson, definitely. I agree with the Cucurella take. Definitely, and I understand why Caicedo isn't there. I think everybody knows his ceiling. Caicedo is the player. And where do you have an improvement there? I just think he just needed to find his form. He was always good. Whereas a lot of these guys are coming from not being good to being good, and that's how they judge it.
And I think your argument applies to Gravenberch. He's always been an excellent player, so no surprises there. I wouldn't count him as improved. If they're saying, you could say the most performing, maybe. I'm not sure Gravenberch counts as the most improved. I've always known him. Did a video with Ankit on why Chelsea should sign him, I think 2 years ago. But yeah, Bobby, go ahead if you were still speaking, and apologies for cutting you off.
Yeah, I mean, it was an opinion poll, isn't it? So one man's meat is another man's poison, as it were. That
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
their opinion. But this is ours, and you have a point with Gravenberg. I understand why they didn't put Caicedo. Caicedo is not about improvement. It was just always about finding form. He's a top player, always has been. But whereas the others came from not being so good to being good, certainly the likes of Jackson. So that is what I believe it is, what I believe they are alluding to. And like every opinion polls, there will be outliers.
Yeah, I do agree with you. Yeah, if you're, yeah, there will be outliers indeed for every opinion poll. Yeah, it's not a fact; it's opinion. So the Chelsea, what's the name, Ryan, Cherky to Chelsea? Yeah, it's not going away. I'm not sure whether to believe that or not. This reads: Leon are set to demand around 30 million pounds. That's around 25 million pounds. That's cheap for a player his quality. I'd say I wouldn't mind the signing him. Whether to believe 90 minutes, the source of this particular report, I'm not too sure, but I like Gravenberch. He has that Eden Hazard, a magic touch in him. He's not quite there yet, but he can improve to become that player. And he says Leon are set to demand around 30 million euros, which is 25 million pounds, to part ways with midfielder Ryan Cherky amid links to both Liverpool and Chelsea. I'd say get him, really. That's why we're Chelsea. And it's an opportunistic signing given Lyon's current issue, awaiting relegation at the end of the season. What to make of that sort of punishment, I don't know. But DJ, let's hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah or nay for you?
No, I think he's a good player. I think we've been linked with him before. I can see why the links have. I can see why the links have come back again to him. Yeah. Sorry about that in the background. Sorry.
Mhm. No
Yeah.
problem, dude. No problem.
Yeah, I can see why the links have come in for him. But nah, I think it was said. I think it was said on your stream the other day, Kachilla. I think you even pointed out, I don't think we really do need him in that midfield. Mind you, he can play as a winger as well, but then who does he come in that wing position? Because you've got Neto, Madueke, you've got obviously you've got Nkuku can go on there, Jao Felix can go on there as well. So where does he actually fit in? Is the question. So again, I probably would say yes if we can get him because we're Chelsea, but we might be Chelsea, but it doesn't mean we have to go for every player, I guess. But I wouldn't complain if he was to come, but I can't see it happening at all, to be honest with you.
Why don't you see it happening? For
Sorry?
25 million pounds and he's still 20.
I just think there's other positions in the team that need to improve, to be fair, Coutinho. We need other players in other positions for me. I think the centre back being one of them. If you're going to look at somebody in January, go and try and get a centre back because we've got our midfielders already, as you know, our midfielders already full there. So for me, you need to improve your team where you need to improve. And for me, look, centre
We
back for
don't
me is a
have too many
priority.
difference makers. That's where I feel like we should sign him, but go ahead.
Um, yeah, I get your point. I get your view. I get your point on that. We don't have any, but then you look at it. But if you think about it, look, the players that can make a difference are not even playing. I mean, Nkuku can make a difference. Jao Felix can make a difference, but they're not even playing. That's the thing. So you have got players in that setup that can actually do a difference for us if they get given the opportunity. Another one, Mudryk is another one who can make an improvement for us in that team. So we do have those different makers. For me, Carney Chukwuemeka can make a difference as well if he comes on the pitch. So I look at it that way, from that angle. Do you know what I mean? I'd rather go for somebody, that we do need, And as I think we all saying we've been crying out for a centre back. And I think that probably would be the position I probably would look at least in January anyway.
Yeah, Bobby, Ryan Turkey to Chelsea, yeah or nay for you?
Um, I have to agree with everything that
Of course.
DJ said. I mean, it's just common sense. Look, there
Hmm.
comes a time in the creation of a project, a process, a redevelopment. Um, you have to work on what you've got. And you have to understand the potential of what you've got. Now, bringing in somebody, another 20-year-old, is more or less like starting again. Okay, he's a difference maker. He might bring a bit of quality, but we've seen even bringing in Jadon Sancho, it's taken him a while to even show himself in the team. He's had one game or half a game? Yeah, maybe injury and illness has caused that, but there's always, as I keep saying, that settling in period. It takes time. Some players never settle in. Some takes a longer time than the others. I think we are at that point where we do have very, very talented players. Now we have to have the patience to get the machine oiled and get it to tick. So we don't need too many adjustments where we're not really struggling. I think we have to let what we have perform. The centre back situation, yeah, if we see a centre back that fits our model and is much better than what we've got, then of course, since it's a bit shaky, we've got to look at it very seriously, threatening the positions of Desasi and Badiashile. And of course, the goalkeeping situation, where some people are even saying, look, we've got a lot of goalkeepers, several out on loan. We need to take our time and let these guys develop. I can't really argue with that. So I'll stick again with DJ on this one. Do we need him? It's debatable.
Yeah, again, it depends on what the manager wants. Let me catch up with the chat. Let's see what else we have lined up here to tackle. I want to grab him back at Chelsea until Chelsea panicked and, yeah, went up for Zakaria. Zakaria wasn't bad too, but he had injury issues. Roland Darko Moore, nice to see you. This is your first time here. Correct me if I'm wrong. If that's the case, welcome to the Chelsea Perspective community. Here, your opinion matters. All we ask of you is just to keep it civil, and thank you for joining us. He says, greetings from Accra, greetings from my West African brother, Kachila and Bobby. There's so much heightened expectation of the team doing well this season, and not forgetting the Club World Cup coming soon. Reinforcement is fair. It depends on the patches too. I don't think adding to the numbers we have right now without the patches will be good. I think we'll end up having a bloated squad. But excellent point there. I don't know if Bobby has anything to add to that. Otherwise, I'm going to move on. Let's see. I don't think
Yeah,
any
it's
of
a
our
it's a
players.
valid point.
Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
It's a valid point, but as you
Hmm.
said, that will mean departures. A departure can be as unsettling
Hmm.
as a new player arriving. Sometimes, a player that they're all used to in the dressing room can leave a huge hollow in a team. So you need to be very careful, and that's the reason we have sporting directors, because they'll
Hmm.
look at it and they'll work with the coach to make such a decision. At the moment, I don't think this team needs to be ruffled too much.
Yep, thank you so much for that, Bobby. Let's see. And the beautiful game is saying, I don't think any of our players have improved to the extent of making a whole opinion poll or start over it. or start over it. Would love to put Sanchez on the list, but that would be the biggest fraudulent lie. So So why are you talking about it? Leave me the heck alone, man. Yeah, I say that. He's still, yeah. You don't know him. He's a mystery. Yeah, I know him. He's my bro. Fact. Bobby Desasi and Buddy needs to be not banished, but Buddy Shile will still be here, and I'm telling you, that would be the case, but we'll find out anyway. What else do we have here? We move from the end. So let's see. Let's go news hunt. And Bobby, anything else you want to talk about while I wait for this window to load? Okay, it loads quickly. Anything new? What is it saying? Sachin Gupta has been appointed as Chelsea's first chief analytics officer and will lead development of their data science capabilities. A welcome development for me. I know a lot of people don't believe statistics has a place in football to the extent of hiring a dedicated personnel for that. For me, it's a good development. Anybody else want to talk about that, or should we move on? I don't have a problem with that.
Never heard of
Football
him.
has improved.
Never heard of him. And I just wonder, it's only because it's Chelsea. I mean, some of these sort of backroom hires, do they really need to be publicized? I don't know. And I'm really asking because I've not heard of this guy. Yeah, it's great, but so what, really? I mean, this is what the club should be doing anyway. Yeah?
It's the
I
rumor
love it,
did
man. I
emerge.
love
I think it was about 2 months ago.
it.
It's new. It's not new,
Mm,
really.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
It,
have to agree with Bobby on that one as well,
yeah.
Coachella.
It's not really
Shocking.
something the fans are going to be, breakdancing about. They're happy, don't get me wrong. Welcome to
Only
Chelsea,
if they
mate.
understand the importance of data to football these days.
Well, it's the
Not a lot of
same as
people understand.
understanding
I think,
the importance of that sponsorship angle that you mentioned
yeah, I was going to
yesterday.
say that.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's good, it's great. We appreciate it. But this is all structural stuff. This is what I was saying earlier about when you have rich owners, it doesn't mean anything per se, apart from with the structural stuff. Because all these guys, they cost money, they need to be scouted and, redevelopments, like, new stadiums and all that. That's where that matters. But in terms of the club itself and, whether they can buy and sell and so on, that's the club has to regenerate its own revenue now because of regulations. So this guy, I've never heard of him. It's great he's here. If he does everything that it says on the tin, fantastic. But nowadays, Chelsea get a new tea lady and it's announced. It's
So
you know
true.
what I mean? It's just crazy.
I'll be
That
honest with you. I'm going to
reminds
go
me
with
of
Bobby on it.
someone, but I'm not going to
What
mention.
what I'll say about what Bobby just said is, I think the only time I actually took a recognition to this guy, and as I said, I've never heard of him either. I think the only time I actually took notice of it all, Kachil, when this story first broke, I do believe it broke. I think last month
At
before
most
when it
three
was
months ago.
mentioned,
But
or
it's
three
more than
months
a
ago.
month, about
Yeah,
2-3 months ago, yeah.
the only thing I took out of it was that same day he was announced. That same day we were linked with two big sponsors from the airlines. I think one of them was the airline for the shirt, having shirt sponsors. I think one of them was for the cool. Is it the same sponsors as Barcelona once had on their shirts? I can't remember them. And there was another sponsor,
Rakuten?
and I thought, yeah, and I thought, oh, this looks good.
Have they changed from Rakuten to someone else?
No, they had no. There used to be an airline before, and
Oh,
that
I
same
don't remember.
airline on their sponsors, and that used to that came on. That was the two airlines that were linked with Chelsea at that time. We were looking at those as a possibility of doing deals with them. That's the only time I really took notice of the story. Then after that, he kind of like faded away, like most of these things do. And then all of a sudden, it's international break, no football to be played. So let's bring out everything about Chelsea, and all of a sudden, this guy gets his face on the pitch of everything. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be coming in and doing everything he needs to do, like Bobby said. Tea lady. Now this, what next, mate? It always seems to be the way with these new owners, bro. They seem to be announcing everything, mate. Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess they're trying to hype up everything for us. I guess their way of trying to get
possibly.
out there.
All right. The beautiful game is saying he worked with
That's it always.
data analysts, and they are always trying to get the spotlight. No offense to any. Yeah, I have a few friends who they're always trying to show you that they're the reason why we've made a lot of sales. Something like that. That's their thing. It's I agree with you on that one. And Vic is saying he was interim president
Okay.
of basketball
Okay.
operations in
Interesting. Yeah.
Minnesota and Minnesota Timberwolves. Okay. And
Okay.
DJ, you were thinking about Qatar Airways?
That's the one, bruv. That's the one. Thanks,
Oh,
Vic.
okay.
That's the one. And there was
Yeah,
another airline as well, but that
I
was one of
told
them.
Vic to help you out, so he wrote it
Oh,
there.
did you?
Um,
Oh, okay.
All right, let's see him. John Terry on the penalty miss in the
Yep.
Champions League final in Moscow. I just remember standing looking over Moscow in my hotel. I was on about the 25th floor, just looking out. I'm glad you didn't jump, man. Just asking why then? Why did it start raining? Why did I slip? All of these things. I felt bad. I felt it broke my heart. And I'm just happy he didn't jump. Yeah, that's how serious. Goalkeeping coach Henrique Hilario and head of performance analysis James Melbourne have both left Chelsea FC to reunite with Thomas Tuchel as part of England's backroom staff. Wow, we were just talking about Henrique joining him. Bobby, Thomas Tuchel is making you happy, isn't he? You could say if the analytical, the other guy, so this new guy is coming in, so they're replacing him. So the
Well,
second guy, yeah,
as
go
as
ahead.
you said, Chelsea wouldn't be letting these people go. Well, I hope not anyway, if they don't have replacements. Although with the set piece coach, they let him go and we suffered. We didn't have one, although that was partly due to Pochettino. But the new
Yeah,
guy from Brentford couldn't start until this season. Um, Look, I don't know. I'm not really that fussed about it. I think the club should know what they're doing. But I just think it's a bit of a piss take. These people that they're in Chelsea, they think Chelsea's there owes them something. I mean, what the hell? Stop it. I mean, crikey. Lampard, the same thing. He goes somewhere. Oh, let me go to Chelsea. I want this player. I want this coach. I want this. I want that.
mhm,
You know, get a life.
Hey,
yeah.
Bobby, it's not done yet. If he comes Coventry manager, bro, he'll be coming for our young kids, by the way, from the academy.
Well, this
Lampard.
is it. But I,
It's not going to end there, bro. It's not going to come. I
he's
get what you're saying,
gonna.
though.
Yeah, but I think, these new sporting directors, they don't suffer fools. It may not be quite as easy for him as it was before they came on the scene.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
tough with what they do. So if they don't like it, they'll soon tell him where to go.
hmm
Yep. Yes, people, if you have any questions, we'll be rounding off in a bit. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat and we'll try to address it. DJ, do you have any questions for us or Bobby? Anything else you want us to talk about? While we wait to see if those in the chat, if they have questions that like us to address.
Just one thing. I saw another story today, because I'm surprised but I don't know how true it is. Well, maybe because it's not true at all. But apparently the scouts have been scouting around the young Ipswich striker. I do believe. Is it?
Oh,
Oh, um,
the lap,
what's his name? Delap.
the
Apparently.
former the Man City academic product, right?
Yep. Yep. That's the one. Apparently, how true that story is, I do not know. But
I don't know. For me, I don't see what
I
he's
saw that
done.
today. I know.
Yeah, I don't think he's Chelsea level at the moment. He's still developing. I don't think we need him, but that's a small opinion. But go ahead, let's hear your thoughts on that.
No, no, no. I totally agree, bro. I mean, I think because of what happened with Cole Palmer at Chelsea, I think every kid that comes now to us are going to think he's going to be like Cole Palmer. But look, again, it's pressure. I think I always believe the kid should stay where he is. He's in a very good environment in Ipswich. He's got a very good young manager, McKenna. Is it Kieran McKenna, who's actually managing him? For me, he should just stay where he is. Personally, I think
I think
Chelsea
he
shouldn't be
should.
in a rush to get him.
Plus, it might be difficult considering, everybody's forgotten the forgotten man, Omari Kellyman. He's still there. He needs to be fit. And when he's
Yes,
fit,
100%. Agreed.
it's another striker that's young, with a heck of a lot of potential. So
Is he? I
I
think
don't
he's a
know.
midfielder, isn't he?
I
Is
thought it
he?
was
I,
a,
I thought it was a
it was a wing
striker.
or winger.
Oh,
I
No,
thought it was a
winger.
he's a
winger.
So maybe
midfielder,
we
but he
meant
can
Winger
operate on the
striker.
flanks.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
But
either way.
still, yeah, numbers. He's still there. He will still
either,
recover. We don't know what we're gonna. I'm not sure, quite sure what's gonna happen with him. He's a talent. He played a few games for the senior Aston Villa senior team before we even signed him. Yeah, I think how many games? I don't quite remember. But go ahead, Bobby. Sorry if you were still speaking.
Yeah, I mean that was it. I was just talking. I mean, this sort of guy at Ipswich is just the kind of player Chelsea would go for or start sniffing around, especially now that this John Duran, his price tag has
Yeah.
gone out of the route, out of reach.
Yeah, that's
They
never gonna
may
happen.
well, you can't, there's never say never in football, but it's unlikely we're going to waste that sort of money on him. And the second bet would probably be this kid. And if Ipswich put like 40, 50 on him, I think this time, if we're interested, we'll go for it. Um, it might not be the best for him in terms of playing week in, week out, but football is money, isn't it? Money talks. And I think it'll be very difficult for him to look at Chelsea and say he doesn't want to come. Every youngster would want to come, one, to the project, two, to test yourself, and three, probably with improved wages. So let's see. I mean, this is not me saying that we are actually going to look at him, but I'm just saying that if the rumors become truth, as it were, don't be surprised to see it happen.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I want to say thank you to you, Bobby, for finding the time to be with us on the panel. It's been an excellent discussion. Same as you, DJ. So big up to you. And
Thanks,
the
brother.
beautiful game saying, Bobby, having KDH PTSD, thinking about us wasting money on the lap.
No, you see, now that I'm not saying we're going. I'm just saying that if we were, that is the sort of player that we chase after. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's probably why the rumor came out in the first place.
Yeah, that's the truth. But he's young. He's a good player, but I don't think he's Chelsea level at the moment. But I understand where Bobby's coming from. Thank you to my Bast 05, my Iraqi bro. And I agree with Bobby, by the way. I know you do. I agree with him. And the blue to forget. Big up to you. Thank you, Nehe, the my Fawale. Thank you to Vic, my bro. He's here. A big was here, I think. Vic, I appreciate you. All of you in the chat. And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Peace, everyone. Up the Chelsea. Peace, Bobby. Take care, bruv.
Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 oh, oh. things. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and